Hey guys, I'm Emiline, aka Winterstar Cosplay, and this is the first video in my making of series for Lady Loki, where I show you how I designed and made my own original design Lady Loki cosplay. In this first video, I will be talking about how I found and altered the dress, added all the fancy details, created the cape, and more, so stay tuned if you want to see how I created this cosplay. I decided to make this cosplay after the trailer for the new Loki series dropped, and first thing to do was design it. After thinking about it a bit and doing a sketch or two, I decided to use a thrifted dress that I'd found for a very cheap 10 cents, and use that as a base to design the rest of the cosplay. I wanted a very elegant and sophisticated look for this cosplay, while still keeping it recognizable clearly as Loki, with the color scheme and the horned headdress. After I finished the sketch, this is what I ended up with: an elegant black dress with gold details, a fancy green cape, and of course the headdress, with some additional gold detailing and jewelry. This was the dress base I was working with, and like I mentioned before, it was only 10 cents. However, there were still some things that I needed to alter. The first among these being the neckline, which was a bit low for my taste. I first pinned, then hand sewed it together, raising the neckline just a bit to a length that I was happy with. I also thought about adding a better fit along the waist or raising the hem, but in the end I decided I was happy with how it looked and just changed the neckline. Next up is the green cape, which I created using a tablecloth that I bought at a thrift store. I started out by taking the cloth and my dressmaker dummy and draping the fabric into a shape that I was happy with. I did this by first pinning the top of the fabric to the dress form after finding the middle of it, and then using pins and a bit of creativity to find a lay and a drape that I liked. To make the cape appear larger at the bottom than it was at the top, I added several pleats to each side of the cape, folding over the fabric, pinning it, and then I would later be sewing it together in order to create some nice pleats. This is what the pleats looked like up close when I had just pinned them together. I needed some way to attach the cape to the dress, and instead of sewing it on permanently, I opted to use sew-on snaps, which are small metal things you sew to each piece of fabric you want to connect, and then you can clip them together and they snap very easily on and off for easy attachment. I sewed one to each corner of the top of the cape, as well as a little bit before the shoulder line on the dress. I don't know where the footage went for this, but I also cut the cape to the correct size that I wanted and hemmed all of the edges. I'm not really sure what happened to the footage for that, but I also ironed it afterwards, making sure to press out the hem and the seams as well as any wrinkles that collected in the cape while it was sitting in my closet or the thrift store. I also ironed out the pleats at the top just to make it lay better. Next up, I needed to add all the fancy gold details to the dress, using this lacy gold fabric that I got for like $17 a yard on sale at Joann Fabrics. It was really pretty and elegant, and I really liked it. It took me some time to figure out how I wanted to cut it, but eventually I trimmed around the different shapes and then cut a straight line across the bottom of it in order to be able to layer it across the bottom hem. This step of cutting out so much gold trim, as well as trimming around the details carefully, did take some time, but I'm really happy with the result that I ended up with. I think that it really added a lot to the cosplay. After I'd cut out all of the lengths of trim, I laid it on top of the hem of the dress, where I think it looked really nice. I then took some pins and pinned all along the bottom of it, securing the gold trim to the fabric. This also took some time, as it was a very full skirt with a lot of gold trim to attach to it, but it was definitely worth it since it made sewing it together so much easier. To sew it together, I used a sewing machine with a zigzag stitch, using black all-purpose thread. I experimented with a ton of different methods with different colored thread and different types of stitches, and a black zigzag stitch was the best option that I found. After initially securing it to the dress, I also went around the top of the gold trim to further secure it to the skirt. And this is what it looked like at the end. I think that it turned out pretty nice. I liked how it looked, but I still wanted a little bit more gold detail on the dress, so I took some pins and some extra fabric that I have and pinned gold fabric to the top of the skirt, right where it met the torso part. I then sewed that layer of gold detailing on as well, trimming off the excess black lacy part after I was done. I went very carefully and slowly to make sure that I didn't catch the back layer of fabric while I was sewing. And this is what the finished gold details looked like on the dress. I think it really added a lot to it, and I'm really glad I went with this fabric option even though it was a bit more expensive. The last thing I will go over in part 1 of this making of series is how I made the hand covers. I initially wanted to make gloves, but I couldn't find black fabric that matched the color of the dress, so instead I opted to use more of the lacy gold fabric, cutting it to the correct size and taking some elastic to make some nice fancy gold bracelet hand cover things. And that takes us to the end of part 1 for my Lady Loki making of series. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned so you don't miss part 2. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.